Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Mac.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are continuing on with our alphabet soup, and we are in the O's.
Yes, and the end of the year is coming up here pretty quickly, so
yes.
we better hit the gas pedal here, I think, to finish these up. But today's O's, we don't have too many games. We've only got
a short
three
video
O's.
for you.
Yes, so you'll definitely have extra time to go back and check out all of our previous alphabet soup videos. So definitely check those out. We'll just start off with
our
one deck
one.
dungeon. So this is a 1 to 2 player game. It says it's got a time of 30 minutes. That's probably about right. But yeah, it's one I think your brother and sister-in-law got me a few years ago. I think it's from when they went to Gen Con. I don't remember exactly. But I think that's when they got it. And it's one I probably don't play all that often just because I don't play a lot of solo games. And I think there is like some sort of campaign you can kind of do with this. I've never ended up doing that. And I think just with all the other games, it kind of sits. We've got a box for our smaller games, or not a box, but a drawer for our smaller games. And I feel like I usually, when I'm looking over the games, I never really look in that drawer.
Yeah.
So it never really gets picked up too often. But yeah, we ended up, Jesse and I played this one, a 2-player version. And the first time we lost pretty badly, and we weren't even playing the right rules exactly, so we would have lost even worse. And then the second time we did win, but we got pretty lucky with our rolls. So I would say this one, because it's smaller, will probably stay in the collection, but I think it's one that you can mitigate a little bit, but I don't know if you can mitigate enough if you just have bad roll after bad roll after bad roll. I don't think, you might just lose because of that.
Right.
Because there's only so much mitigation you can do in the game, whereas, yeah. I think there are other dice games that I prefer to this one, but...
Okay. I have not played it, so I don't have an opinion on it, but...
Yeah. You'll probably have to try it with you, at least.
It, yeah.
So, yeah. But then we get into Orleans, however you want to pronounce it. This one we've had in the collection for a couple years now.
Yeah.
I think this was one I had Abby get me for Christmas a couple years ago, and it shot up on my top 50 list.
It did.
Yeah, and then we played it quite a bit.
I think.
Yeah, we played it quite a bit, and then on our we did a 10 by 10 last year, so this is our challenge this year, the alphabet soup. But the year before it was a 10 by 10, so this was one of the games on that, mainly because we had gotten the expansion, or one of the expansions with kind of some of the new boards. And we played with that, which I liked the new board quite a bit, more than, well, one of them. Yeah. I don't know that we tried the other one.
Yeah, we don't.
Which is
play
more
with the other one.
I think more take that-y. But I do really like the new other one. I feel like I'm more willing to go to those spots. But now it's been a while since I played with the main one, so I don't remember what those rewards are. So they might be good too. But
yeah, they just weren't as good as this other board.
Right. And I think this one has dropped a little bit for us just because we've played it quite a bit more than other games. But surprisingly, I think that it's still, well, not surprisingly, because it's still a very, very solid game. And I think it's in the Board Game Geek Top 100, and I can definitely see why. But it still stayed, I think, on my top 50. So it's still one of those games that I definitely... am up for playing whenever someone recommends it. It's just maybe not one that I'm like, oh, gotta get this back to the table, gotta get this back to the table again and again. But I think it's definitely one where if I hadn't played it in a while, I would definitely maybe recommend trying it out.
Yeah, I think this game is great, but it's petered out for me because the drawing out of the bag, I think, is like the funnest piece of this whole game, and kind of putting your bag together and, using them to do things. But I think the rest of it, like traveling around just to get different things, and then now with the cards added in, like I just don't enjoy those pieces as much because it's very situated scoring, I feel like, and especially in our little game group, like you have you have the lock on what your strategy is, and typically you take the W. So when you take this game, it's kind of like, how am I going to beat Zach? Or like, how can I, like, what gameplay am I missing here that I'm not able to score higher than I used to? So.
You'll have to ask Jesse. He beats me all the time.
Okay.
And he usually uses the same buildings or whatever they are, tiles. So.
Okay. Well, I cannot win this game for the life of me, but it's still a great game. The bag drawing component, I think, is just really different than a lot of it's not worker placement, but like the purchase and the action, I guess, pieces. So just very unique, I think, in what it is for a Euro game.
Yeah, solid game. Definitely look into that one. And then our last one is the newest O game that we have. Yes. That is Obsession, Pride, Intrigue, and Prejudice in Victorian England. Or, as it's probably known, Obsession.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's dust on the box, which is surprising because we've probably played this one the most out of the O games, and at least recently.
Yeah, and that's because I'm obsessed with it. Pun, pun, pun.
No one has ever made that joke, especially not me.
I know, and I think I've used it various platforms now. So Zach got me this, so I like Jane Austen as a reader, and so when he heard there was this board game that kind of united board games and kind of piqued my interest for reading, I was like, oh, maybe, but I'm like really scared that it's not going to be what I want it to be, and that it won't be, that it'll, through that, just not be great. And then I think you also said it is a little bit of a crunchier game.
That was my main concern, was that I knew it was heavier game. So I was like, I don't know.
So I was really surprised when you got it for me for Christmas, and then you got like all the expansions, the useful box, bought it all up. And so I was really surprised when I opened the box because I had no idea. And I kind of dragged my feet getting it to the table because I was like, I just really want it to be so great, and I'm super nervous if it's not. And we played it, and after the first playthrough, I was like, I love this game. I love it. And I did win, but I have since lost, and I still continue.
It's falling now.
I still continue to love this game. Like, it's so unique to me, but it's probably because like the theme it kind of masks some of the similarities with other games, but yeah, it's just great. It's a little bit daunting, I think, your first playthrough with the rulebook and like trying to figure out some of the nuances, but once you kind of get rolling on it, then I think it's super replayable. So
yeah, and I think Dan Halligan or whatever, don't know, I think he was a designer, but when I ordered all of that in the order, it actually sent an email out saying, like, oh, this is what you should play first, and you should have so many games of this before you add this box, and because it's like, oh, I saw you ordered all of it at once or whatever, and then sent me to, I think there was YouTube videos on it and stuff, so I found that to be really awesome and a really good service from the company that did it too. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see if I don't know if they have any other games yet, but definitely, if they put anything out there, I'm definitely going to be interested because, I really like this game a lot, too.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you like it because it's probably not a theme that would intrigue you, but
I like that it's different. I always like ones that feel a little bit different. Kind of like, I guess it makes me... This doesn't really make me think of it, but when you think of different themes that I wouldn't think I'd like, I like Predator quite a bit, even though... The theme of that isn't really something that piques my interest either, but just the way the whole game actually works and comes together makes it feel really, really cool. And I think that's how the theme comes through in this one as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think we made it up to the Wessex expansion. We haven't done the upstairs, downstairs yet, but I'm sure that's soon to come. So.
Yeah, like you said, I think the first couple of games, there's gonna be a couple of things that might be little hiccups in your game, but
I think on my
really solid
5th playthrough, maybe my 6th now, we finally realized that the first player thing goes counterclockwise. So, whoops. Semantics.
Yeah, I feel like that happens in a lot of games, though, probably, too. There's probably little rules that you miss, and then you play with someone else, and then they're like, well, don't you do this? And that's like, What? No, we've been doing that wrong the whole
A very
time.
minor thing, though.
Right. But
So.
yeah, so those are our 3-0 games. I don't think any of them will be called immediately.
Immediately.
Especially not Obsssion or Orleans. So
No.
some of my top games for sure. But yeah, those are our O games. Definitely subscribe if you want to see the rest of our rest of our letters, or go back and check out, like I said, the ones previous. I think we have a lot of P's, and then S and T, and then the rest of them are. I think.
R.
Oh yeah, R probably has a lot too. RST. EPCET. Respect. However you spell that word. Well, luckily there's not a song or anything for it. But yeah, so if you want to check those out, definitely subscribe and hit the notifications. Otherwise, we hope to see you on those next videos. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.